Welcome, dear students. This is the last session of the week number 7. In the previous discussion, we have seen how to make the management by objectives more effective. Today, we are going to discuss the types of plans. The plans, which are basically the planning for every organization, has two categories. These are prepared in two ways, that is the standing plans as well as the single-use plans. The standing plans are those plans which are basically plans of permanent nature, and the single-use plans are made as per the requirements of the organization. The standing plans consist of those things which we normally do not think of, that these are a part of the planning. This standing plan consists of the objectives, policies, strategies, procedures, and methods or rules, which are prepared for long-term duration. The single-use plans are prepared depending upon the requirement of the organization. The single-use plans consist of programs, schedules, projects, and the budgets, which are specifically prepared for specific purposes. Now, we will have a quick look at all these plans. The objectives, if we look at, are basically the goals. You can call them aims, purposes, or missions, which are termed with same meaning. They connote the same meaning. Objectives are goals or endpoints towards which the business activities are directed. Objectives are desirable and results are planned by the management or administration and expected to be achieved by the organization. We can also say that objectives are the products of a specific concrete thinking. They commit employees and organizations to verifiable accomplishments in the organization. The objectives are very important. There are several points that we can discuss about the advantages of the objectives. Objectives provide directions to the individual efforts and activities of an organization, basically. Not only objectives provide direction to individual efforts and activities of organization, but also the objectives provide strong basis for determining policies, procedures, strategies, programs, budgets, and other plans. The objectives help the organizations in effective delegation of authority, which is very much important for every business activity, for every business organization, for all enterprises. Objectives also serve as standards for the evaluation of the actual performance of the organization, because we can set standards and we can compare with the actuals, and we can find the variations if these are any. And the main purpose of finding variation is to just take the corrective steps if these are required. So that's why objectives are very important plan for every organization to prepare itself for the future. It is also said that objectives help in coordinating the efforts of various departments and people working in the organization. And also, the objectives help in achieving personal goals of the individuals as well as of the entrepreneurs. So, we have seen that how important objectives are as a plan, as a long-term plan for the organization. Every organization that comes into existence has these objectives for making it concrete, for making it more effective, more purpose-oriented. Another category of the long-term plan is the policies. Students, policies, as we all know, are the guidelines set up by the company for managerial decision making. Policies are also a category of plans. A common man, a layman doesn't know that the policy is also a plan. But we should understand that a policy is a verbal, written or employed oral guide setting up boundaries that supply the general limits and directions in which managerial action will take place. For example, we can say that the policy of recruiting only MBAs from the top 10 institutions could be one of the policies. Policy of promotion of in-house employees may be one of the policies for the organization. Or we can say that the policy on selling goods only for cash, not on credit. If a company, there could be many more examples of the policies wherein the companies decide in advance the future course of action pertaining to all activities of the organization. So this way, policies are also important category of the plans for every business enterprise. Another important category of the long-term plans for every organization is the strategies. Strategies are also the plans which specify the route taken to achieve company's objectives and policies. Strategies comprise of a number of things. Generally, a course of action, a commitment of resources, or you can say a detailed blueprint of all moves, initiatives, responses, and also with timing concern is also a part of the strategy. Strategy, we can say, is a unified and critical plan of action to achieve a goal. The goals of organization are very important. Strategies are prepared to achieve these goals. How we achieve our goal is a part of this strategy. As mentioned earlier in the beginning, the strategies specify the route taken to achieve the company's objectives and policies. The strategies play a very big role. And we can say, in other words, that a strategy is a master plan. A strategy can be called as a master plan for moving organization towards its objectives. A company can move towards its objectives through the complex and volatile business environment that is faced by every market. A market is full of competition. There is always complex and volatile environment in every market. How a company manages to survive in that competitive environment, in that volatile environment, depends upon the strategies that we make. So, strategies also involve innovation and creativity. A few examples will further clarify what is meant by these strategies. For example, we can say that a strategy for winning an approval in the board meeting could also be a strategy. A strategy to make the best use of media coverage could also be one of the examples. And a strategy to convince the lecturer that he should let you free in the class is also one of the types of strategies. Followed by strategies, procedures are there, which are also termed as plan. It's also a part of the plans that the companies make for their organizations, for a smooth functioning of their organizations. Procedures. The word procedure itself indicates its meaning. Procedures are basically the action guidelines. Action guidelines which specify how particular activity has to take place. We can say that procedures provide chronological step-by-step sequence of required action in order to achieve a certain goal or policy. A procedure lays down the manner and method by which the work is to be performed in a standard or uniform way in the organization. We can say that the procedures ensures higher than an average level of performance. This higher than average level performance, which is the result in work simplification and eliminations of duplication of the efforts. Duplication of efforts should be taken into consideration so that the wastage of time could be controlled. So you can say that the procedures specify how particular activity has to take place. How to do a particular set of things is dependent upon the procedure that we follow. Procedures we follow in our day-to-day life too. So procedures play a very important role in every business activity, and we can say that it is the procedures by means of which we take steps which are required to achieve the goals or the policies of the company. A procedure should be purposeful and also functional in nature. People say that it should be in written form, in simple and clear written form. And also, it should be flexible. It should be exposed to periodic review also. It's not that it is one-time activity. Procedures can be revised and reviewed as per the requirement of the organization. Now let us see what are the examples of the procedure. The procedure may be followed for recruitment of employees. Procedure may be followed for CET procedures for engineering admissions, for example. Procedure for processing customers' complaints could be followed, could be designed so that the actions could be taken according to that. Another important thing that we need to take here into consideration, I just quickly remind you that what actually has been. In the standing plans, you are observing that objectives, policies, strategies, procedures, methods or rules are there, which are going to play an important role. After procedure, the next important things which are to be taken into consideration are the methods and rules. Methods are basically subunits of procedure. It would be not wrong to say that methods are basically the subunits of procedure, and these are breakup of each step of procedure into sub-steps. Methods indicate the simplified and standardized technique to be employed in carrying out a particular task in the best possible way. Methods are product of research. Methods are product of experimentation. Methods are product of analysis. For example, we can say method of conducting written tests for recruitment. What will be the method for recruitment of the employees? A test may be conducted. What kind of test will be there? All these things are decided. A particular method is followed. A method for conducting the admission test, for example, requires a particular ways and techniques or a procedure. Also, method employed for failure analysis. Businesses also fail. So some efforts are made to ensure that we make proper analysis of failure. It is also method. Apart from methods, rules. Rules are also very important plans for organization. A common man does not know the rules are also a planning activity of the organization. I tell you here that rules are the standard guidelines which specify what is good and what is bad for an employee or for an organization. Rules are always established or direct or restrict action in order to govern the behavior of individuals. Rules if violated, are viewed seriously and penalties are imposed. What are the rules which are framed by the organizations? For example, rule of no smoking, rule of formal dressing, rule of not using cell phones in the academic premises. So, rules are also a category of the what you call plans for the development of an organization. Programs. Let us now come to the second category of the planning or plans which are made for day-to-day purposes. The plans which are made for day-to-day purposes consists of those planning initiatives which are made on the basis of requirement of a particular activity in the organization. Let us first of all take the case of the programs. What is program? Let us understand. A program basically for a layman is not a planning, but we should understand that the program is a plan, is a category of plan. So a program is a precise plan which lays down the operations to be carried out to accomplish a given work. A program, you can say, is the aggregate of several related action plans that have been designed to accomplish a mission within a specified time. A plan, which may be called as program, is a comprehensive activity that includes a complex set of goals. We can also include here the procedures, methods, strategies, etc. The example of the program could be, for example, a program for organizing an international seminar. It could also be about an expansion for a company. Next category of the plan here is the schedules. Basically, the schedules are the timetables where we find that there is a very clear-cut specified situation. It is clearly specified when, what, and where each element of work is carried out. We can say that it is the aim of scheduling the sequence of work so that all units of work can be systematically arranged towards their completion by due date. You can see the picture. Task 1, Task 2, Task 3, Task 4. Schedule makes things easier. By schedules, by making the timetable, we clearly specify. For example, take the case of the teaching or academic department. They prepare a schedule. They prepare a weekly schedule of teaching different subjects to different classes, different courses. They design it in such a way. For example, there are 8 periods per day. So they specify who will engage which subject in which period. Like first period may be given to one teacher with his subject, followed by others, and so on. So in this way, there is no overlapping. We find that there is a systematic arrangement towards the completion of the classes. For example, a program, an academic program is being run by an institution. So they decide the total hours of teaching for that program, and then they accordingly distribute it to the existing faculty members who deliver lectures as per the specified times. Think of a situation where no schedule has been prepared for the classes, then there will be a lot of chaos in the department, academic department, and then will be mismanagement. And ultimately, What can happen in such kind of situation that the proper teaching won't take place? Fights could emerge there, and different kinds of mismanagement could be visible if it is not systematically arranged towards the completion. Because every course, every academic program has a duration during which it has to be run. After schedules, the next category of plans is the projects. It will not be wrong to say that a project is a small program. Several projects may also make up a program. Sometimes it is seen. Or you can say, in other words, that the projects are individual portions of a general program. These individual portions of general program cut out and are which clearly cut and clear cut and relatively distinct from each other. For example, we can say that a software project part of a larger program, like SPSS project work. An example may be given by taking the demolition project. Why this demolition project is made? Because it is a part of the encroachment removal program. You might have come across invariably that whenever there is a development of a particular city, sometimes we observe demolition is taking place. This demolition is a kind of project by the institution which is carrying out. Normally, these kind of drives are made by the government to take the land which is under encroachment of someone. So it is also a project because they, for example, an ordinary city is being converted into a smart city. So they make sure that what kind of land encroachment is there. Because the government has all plans about the land which lies in the government record for the government purposes and which is encroached by the individuals. So projects are also a category of the plan which is very popular in the business world. Friends, another category of the short-term plans is the budgets. Budget is something which is very common. Budget is a very common word. Even layman knows what is budget. And when it comes to budget, people think of the budget which is prepared by the government. Being a commerce student, being a management student, you must know that budget is not only that budget which is prepared by the government and which is presented in the parliament. Of course, that is the budget. That is the budget for the entire country. Organizations also prepare the budgets. Different types of budgets. So what is budget? First of all, let us see. A budget is a written plan of future activities of the company. A budget is a written plan of future activities of a company in monetary terms. We can say that the budgets are managerial tools for planning, programming and controlling business activities. Budgets define the anticipated cost of attaining an objective. The organizations prepare different categories of budgets like sales budget, production budget, advertising budget. Why these budgets are prepared? So that we could check. Budgets are basically a form of estimation. And actuals may be different also sometimes, but at least some outline is there. Some guideline is there that we have to operate according to these guidelines. So budgets are not only the estimation but also a written plan for the future activities of the company in monetary terms. So that accordingly the organization can plan, organization could program and control the business activities. It is also one of the important components of the success of every business organization. If the businessman does not prepare any budget, there is a possibility that such business may fail. The chances of failure will be quite adequate, quite sufficient if the organizations are not making proper budgets. So, budgets are very important component for the success of every organization, because the budgets are basically not only a statement of money, but also these are prepared for definite future period, and because these are prepared in advance for future. Budgets give an overall view of business in terms of sales, production and expenditure, and also it helps in anticipation and controlling of the financial requirements of different branches of business. So that's why budgets are very important plan for every business organization. So dear students, this was the last part of the week 7 unit pertaining to the planning. Thank you very much.